Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. My name is Diamond, aka Lady Leo, and we're going to be swatching some pics from the Mooncat Star Wars collection inspired by the dark side of the Force. So this was the last collection they dropped in 2024, right before the start of the new year, and I have been buying from Mooncat since before they were Mooncat. They rebranded a few years ago as Mooncat, and previously they used to be Live Love Polish. And I happen to believe that they make some of the best magnetics in the business. And this collection was a 7-piece collection, and it was all magnetics except for one, so I knew I had to pick some up from this collection. So we're going to be spotching the ones that I absolutely loved from the collection. I only picked up about 4, but there's maybe 1 or 2 I might go back and pick up. Anyway, so that being said, let's get started with the collection really quickly. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button if you like this video and you want to see more content from me. I do make other videos outside of nail content, so I do like Reddit reactions, movie, TV show reviews, all sorts of things. I have so many things that I'm interested in, and I just love to talk about them on my channel. Okay, getting started with A Galaxy Far, Far Away. So as I mentioned, I do feel like Mooncat makes some of the best magnetics in the business because they do a good job of making really contrasting magnetics. So A Galaxy Far, Far Away is described as being a black magnetic polish that has holographic glitter and then red and blue iridescent flakies, so that when you magnetize it, you get this very strong blue velvet effect. This one is one of those really dynamic magnetics where there's like a lot of stuff going on, but once you magnetize it, you get that really strong effect. Now, you can do magnetics a couple of different ways. So if you want to do it unmagnetized, you can definitely rock it unmagnetized. Or, if you want to magnetize it, you don't have to magnetize each level. I actually found that through a lot of trial and error, it doesn't really make that big of a difference if you sit there and like do one coat and magnetize it as you go. So for this video, I'm only going to be magnetizing the top coat, so the top coat of polish, and then like when I put a top coat on top of that, I'll do that magnetization as well. So that's 2 magnetizations per each swatch. And you can also cheat a little bit if you want to do like 1 coat of black and then just 1 coat of the magnetic polish, and then again you just need to make sure you magnetize it again when you put on your top coat, because it will separate. So there's several different ways you can do magnetics as well. So sometimes I rock it unmagnetized, but let's not kid ourselves, we're all here for the magnetization. Okay, moving on to Imperial Stormtrooper. This one is probably one of the most unique of the collections because Imperial Stormtrooper is described as a black to light gray thermal magnetic polish that has a bright silver magnetic stripe. So I don't know if I've ever seen a polish that is equally a thermal as well as being a magnetic. This could be the first. I could be wrong, but I think it's an interesting combination. I'm not the biggest fan of thermals, or maybe that's not the best way to say it. I just have so much polish that like I forget which ones are thermals, and thermals have a shelf life in terms of like how long they shift. So for me, I don't usually gravitate towards thermal polishes, but I thought the combination of this being a thermal as well as being a magnetic was just so interesting that I had to at least try it. And I really like both colors. I like the light version of the thermal as well as the dark, and I'm pretty sure the dark is the cold version and the light is the warm, maybe. Possibly, I don't know, I can't tell. It's cold in my house, so it's hard to know which one is which. But yeah, so I absolutely love this one. I think it's a really interesting combination, and I'd be curious to know how they got the thermal to mix with the magnetic and for it to work properly. I don't know, but she looks good. I love Imperial Stormtrooper, so this is probably one of my favorites of the collection, but let me wait till I swatch the other 2 and then we'll see if it's one of my favorites. And we can't swatch a Star Wars collection on the dark side of the Force without getting some Lord Vader. Oh, I love this one because I absolutely love reds. So this is a red magnetic polish with a red shimmer and a silver magnetic stripe. So that's pretty simple on paper, but what I love about this is it reminds me of a couple of the magnetics that they had in the Pandora Unboxed, I think that's the name of the collection, that are similar to this, where they have a very strong contrast in terms of like how they look unmagnetized versus how they look magnetized. And I really, really like that, because for me, if I'm gonna go through the process of wearing a magnetic, which is a few more steps than just applying like normal polish, I want to magnetize it because I want to see that magnetization. And I think this one gives you such a stark difference between what it looks like unmagnetized and magnetized. And I just really, really love how it looks magnetized. I think it's just very interesting and very dynamic, even though there's only like a few different things in here. And that's kind of what I mean when I say that like Mooncat to me has some of the best magnetics, because I feel like they spend a lot of time thinking about that. So, you know, when they pick magnetics, they pick something that would be like really really stark to give you that really that wow factor. That's what I'm trying to say when you're wearing a magnetic. So I love Lord Vader, and we're going to be moving on to our last one, which is Death Star. For Death Star, we have a silver magnetic polish with a silver holographic shimmer and a silver magnetic strip in there. So I think for this one, it's pretty simple if you think about it. It's really just silver, some silver hollow, but I really like it because I think sometimes when you're doing lighter colors with magnetic polishes, sometimes the magnetization gets lost. You know what I mean? Like when you magnetize it, it's just not as crisp as you want it to be because it's a little bit of a light color. But I don't feel like that here. I think you still get that really stark difference, that wow factor when you magnetize it. And I just think this one is so, so pretty. And I thought the whole collection that they did was really great. Like I was pretty tempted to get the whole collection, but you know, it was the end of the year and I had already bought a lot in December. So I just opted to get the top 4 that I liked the most, but there are 2 other magnetics in the collection. There's one that isn't a magnetic, which it's a foil polish, I think. Not the huge fan of foil polishes, but the other 2 I might go back and get. It depends. I'm sure we'll see some great collections from Mooncat, so I might go back and get this. But yeah, I think this one has a really great look magnetized. I also think that of all of the magnetics that I picked up, this is one of the one that looks great unmagnetized as well. Like it looks so similar to its base color, but you still get that more stark contrast when you magnetize it. So I like to wear it magnetized. Well, those are the 4 that I picked up. So we're going to go over to some comparisons. Looking at them all next to each other, it's very difficult for me to pick out and be like, oh, this is my favorite. I mean, these are kind of all my favorite, which is why I just picked these 4. But if you're twisting my arm and I've got to pick, I would say Death Star and Imperial Stormtrooper. Ugh, so I didn't choose the red, but I do love the red. I'm just picking like my absolute 2 top favorites. I think the thermal magnetic is such a unique kind of formula, and I actually would love to see more thermal magnetics from them, even though I'm not a big thermal fan, but I do think it adds like an extra element of dimension. And then I just really love the Death Star one as well. So let me know in the comments if you picked up any of this or if you picked up the whole collection. I know they launched like a collection botch with this one, which looked kind of cool. Yeah, but just let me know in the comments below. All right, that's my time. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you later. Bye.